Patty Simpson with Simpson Math. Let's look at the vocabulary around probability. First, let's talk about an experiment or a trial. An experiment is any process with the result determined by chance. So maybe if I'm looking to randomly choose a Skittle from a bag of Skittles, then my experiment is drawing a Skittle from the bag. The experiment could also be something like rolling a dice or drawing a card. And sometimes an experiment just happens also every day in life. Things like when you get into a car to drive your car, that's an experiment in itself. What's the outcome? Well, the outcome of that might be determined by chance. So a probability experiment is just something that the outcome of it is determined by chance. Then an outcome is each individual result that's possible for the probability experiment. So I could draw a green. Green is an outcome of this experiment. As I draw from a deck of cards, I could draw an ace. An ace is an outcome from drawing from a deck of cards. I could be in a wreck for driving my car. Being in a wreck is an outcome for that experiment. So each one of them is an outcome. So each one of these guys is an outcome. Sample space is the set of all the possible outcomes. So in this case, I could draw a red, yellow, an orange, a green, or a purple. So the sample space is the set of all of those possible outcomes. So the sample space is just the set of every single possible outcome that can happen in the experiment. And a symmetric sample space, or an equally likely sample space, is the set of all possible equally likely outcomes. In my example here with the Skittles, it is more likely that I'm going to get a red because there's more reds than there are purples. So it's more likely I'm going to draw a red than a purple. So in order for me to have the symmetric sample space, each one of these must be equally likely. It's just as likely as I pull this red as it is this yellow. Whereas over here, that was more likely. Drawing reds is more likely than yellow because there are 4 reds in the bag. But here, by putting each one of them individually, it's just as likely that I pull this red as it is that I pull that red, as it is that I pull this orange, as it is that I pull the one purple. So now this is the set of equally likely outcomes. Each one of them is just as likely. And an event is the subset from the sample space. Earlier we called this the favorable outcome, the thing that we're looking for. So an event is just part of your sample space. So for instance, if I'm finding the probability of red, then red is my event. If I'm looking for the probability of red or orange, then red or orange is my event. If I'm looking for the probability I get a Skittle, then Skittle is the event. So the event is just something, a subset, part of my sample space. Math Made Simple. It's Math. Thanks for watching.